stadig der.
Ja. Så lige nu man kommer derop, der var det svært, at jeg må ringe op.
Ja, tak. Tak.
Vi skal gå ned ad bakke hele vejen, så kan det være lidt godt. Her kan man da rigtig køre
First stop. So you guys saw the chalets. That's the accommodation I was talking about. Divided into double rooms, single rooms, and 4-bed dormitories. So when you book camping, when you book chalets, they bring you here. All right, gentlemen, please come a little bit closer. Where we are standing. From where we are standing, in any direction you choose to look, as far as your eyes can go. The population here, gentlemen, currently estimated between 4 to 4.5 million people. 4 to 4.5 million people, plus minus, in Soweto alone.
Oh, that's
Huge.
It's interesting because you get the stats for Joburg, right? Original, official stats are 5.5, 6 million. Greater Joburg is 10, 12 million.
10, 12 million.
But if you have 4 million here alone, those stats have to be skewed. Then you got to look at more like 15, 20 million in the whole, like greater Joburg.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
absolutely. You think about the last census that was done. You know, that was done around 2010, you know.
Yeah.
That's now over 11 years ago. So even when we say 4.5, it's a safe number, but you always have to emphasize that plus minus because it's pretty more. Johannesburg is a different case altogether, excuse me, because of also the up and down movement, all right, and also a lot of immigration that's in Johannesburg, you know what I mean?
Do you have any industry around here?
Unfortunately, no factories, no big industries. For a lot of the people, they rely on Johannesburg and the neighboring suburbs for employment. This is a very big issue right now.
There's a lot of commuting out there.
Lots of commuting.
So the way the if I can just add on, the way the apartheid regime planned the cities was that basically you had the core city where the white would live. Then you would have the industry as a buffer between them and the labor force, which was townships that were outside the city. So that's why there you see urban structures where some
Alright, ladies and gents. Hey guys, you're gonna join us?
Please follow us. Hang on.
Okay.
And it's not trailer.
Alright, come this side, guys. So, ladies and gents, we crossed the traffic light. We come into a new community. This community is called Zone 11, or it's known as the Municipality Hostel. The Municipality Hostel. Alright? Municipality Hostel or Zone 11. This community is a little bit different from where we started. 1954, this community was built. Men, 2 rooms. The men would be working for as long as they were strong enough to work. Blood brought in. 1993, we see the introduction of women and children. The homes are starting to change into family units. Today, 1 family per house, all right, per home. An average family here is anything between 4 to 7 people. So still, all right, many of the homes do not have running water inside. Many of the homes do not have a toilet inside. People come outside to make use of communal. You look at the roofs of the houses, it's made from a material called asbestos. Amiant. A lot of people, they feel when good things happen around Soweto, they do not always trickle down instructions. Service delivery, development is very, very slow. 3.5 streets got the development of running water inside the home. After this block, from here going forward, Alright. Ladies and gents, we are going to be having a little bit of a fear factor stop. I'm going to introduce you to something that is a delicacy. Here is a snack, alright? But this will give us the opportunity of at least contributing to one business before we move, alright?
Bedste krydser bare ned over sengen.
Alright, ladies and gents, this might be a little bit of a fear factor stop, but it's safe, alright? We are going to be tasting something called the Mopani worm. Mopani worm. This worm eats off a Mopani tree. It does not eat flesh. They do not pick it off the ground. They pick it straight from the tree. Alright? You are not forced. I'm not going to force you. If you don't want, it's okay. I won't be offended. Alright?
Sikkert proteinhold.
Okay. We'll have it all together, alright? At the same time. At the same time. So when I give it to you, please hold it in your hand and wait. Alright? Mopani worm?
I'm not sure.
Mopani worm?
No, thank you.
Mopani worm?
Yes.
Yes. Nice one. Mopani worm? Yes. Mopani worm? Yes. Nice. Mopani worm? Alright.
Der skal vi ikke vente på, om det
Alright.
Hallo, Frank.
Vi er vegetarer.
Ja, der er vi tager det. Den er tør som en pind.
Spiser man den hele, eller hvordan?
Take care. If you don't like it, it's okay. The rest you can throw it on the side, alright? Are you ready?
Ja.
Alright. Mopani worm. It's a delicacy. In South Africa.
Fremtiden er larve og vagt. Altid, hvor man lige har fået en bid af en...
You look like.
It looked like it was just at Kentucky Fried Chicken or something like
Yeah.
that.
He wants one more.
Some spice maybe, yeah. Some families would do it with some sauce and spice. Alright?
I'm kind of happy I brought water though.
Morning, morning,
Morning.
morning, morning, morning.
Det tror jeg faktisk, du har. Fedt. Er det ret diskret?
Ja.
Ja, det er meget cool.
Ja. Jeg kan også holde den lidt, når vi cykler. Ja. Ja. Det er fandme aldrig noget, man kommer til at opleve igen, det her.
So, anyway, I can get rid of the plastic bottle. Can I get rid of the bottle? You want a bit?
Thank you.
This is better.
Det smager ret, det smager lidt typisk træ.
Som
Det smager lidt typisk noget træ.
Det er fordi, de lever af træ, så det smager bare af træ.
jeg tror, de har haft det varme lidt mere.
Vores chauffør for eksempel på ambassaden, han sidder tit og æder. Mærkeligt måde.
So 1954 in Zimsoppe Hostel, Zone 11.
Lige en drink der.
Mens
Så lige se, om der skal kan filme de to piger der.
There are many traditional doctors around. Sometimes people don't always go to the clinic, they don't always go to the hospital or a doctor. Sometimes people believe that it's spiritual and then they come here. Alright? Here is where you'll find incense burnt, the guy will communicate with your ancestors and profit over what your illness or your future could be. Alright? So all the different things they work with and the different types of medicines that is mostly organic. Okay?
Du bist strong in bed.
Ja, vi skal have noget af det.
Hey, manje ke dambi. Ay, Belung.
Please come a little bit closer. You know how in English sometimes they say it gets worse before it gets better. Alright? For me, this describes that. 700 apartments, 3.5 rooms, running water inside, toilets inside. Empty for 11 years. 700 units empty, 11 years. Broken windows is people's frustration at the system. When this started, people thought Mandela houses. People thought RDP, redevelopment program. People thought RDP program, but that was not the case. When construction was finished, the municipality come back to tell the people that this is rent to own. For families to move in here, they must be willing to pay rent. All right? All right? How much? Between 980 to 1,300 rands a month. All right? 980, 1,300 rands. The community says it's too much. The community says we're not going to move in for that amount of money, hoping that the authorities will take it down. They did not. All right? Every month for 10 years, after 10 years, it's yours. But it's failed. All right? It's a lose-lose situation. Look, there are some families here who can afford this. But right now, if those families move in, they become an enemy of what's going on, of the cause. So it's a lose-lose situation.
The best team in SA, guys, yeah? Yeah,
No.
gauche, André, à gauche. Gauche.
we have left them Zimshoppe Hostel. We are now in Meadowlands. Alright? Meadowlands. Also, asbestos roofing, but 4 rooms inside. Alright? Between 1955 and 1956, the apartheid government introduced 2 laws that would segregate people even more. Okay? The Group Areas Act, the Natives Resettlement Act, made it illegal for black, white, Indian, colored people to live together. Alright? Sophia Town was multiracial, but was broken apart. The color of your skin would determine which direction you were going. So those who were forced out of Sophia Town were ultimately brought here. This is also when things like the pencil test was introduced, where they would take a pencil, they put it in your hair. They put it in your hair, you give the shake of the head. If the pencil falls off, alright, you are classified mulatto. If the pencil does not fall off, you are classified black, Bantu. They had the spontaneous test where they punch you, prick you, how you respond, ouch, achoo, aina, will help them bracket you. Alright? Today, Soweto is predominantly black. It's by design. On the outskirts of Soweto, mulatto communities. 15 kilometers east of Soweto, Indian communities. Slowly, there's mixing. There's opportunities for people to move up, to go around. Ladies and gents, we're going to have a small taste of something nice, something to give us some energy, okay? When we, hey, my boy, hey, brother man. Hola. Okay. Hey guys, you can grab a tangerine, you can grab yourself an apple, but this is really good, narji, alright? Give us a little bit of energy before we continue.
Ta-da!
Det gør du jo også.
Ja, det ligner en fra The Movies. Whenever you see a table like this in South Africa, when you look a little closer, you'll always see this is called amakip. And amakip is so popular that they've started to make a clothing brand, clothing label like this. Alright? It's just corn, colored corn, and this one here is called bourgeoisie. Amakip and bourgeoisie. Okay? You wanna have a taste? Amakip and bourgeoisie. What do you think? Not bad, yeah?
Oh.
South Africa right now is about a 34% plus minus unemployment rate. Alright? Unfortunately, that also includes those in formal businesses like this. But this is the city, this is the urban areas. Here, if you sit back and relax, you will go hungry. So you need to do something. If it's hair, if it's selling, whatever, but you need to try to do something. Alright? That is the attitude here. Try to do something. Don't just sit and relax because you will go hungry. Young people are feeling the brunt of it. Let's go. We are now in a community called Pumulong. Pumulong means to relax. Alright? The Pumulong train station. But right now, no train. There's only one train really, which is the diesel. The diesel head. Alright? That train moves twice a day, 6 and 6. Alright guys, we're gonna park our bikes over here. Alright, all along here and here and here. To start with the history. When we are finished, if you are interested, we can take a small minute. for this. All right? You will let me know if you are interested to take a stop. All right? For now, please follow me. Let's take a walk in this direction. On the 16th of June, plus minus 15,000 students took to the streets to protest for better education, to protest against Afrikaans. Afrikaans as the medium of instruction, to protest against Bantu education. By 1976, the apartheid government had decided to go through with its plans of introducing Afrikaans as the main language, which would be spoken and used in the native schools. All right? Before 1976, one can even go back as early as 1953. 1953, the apartheid government introduced Bantu education. The Boer was superior. The students, they felt Afrikaans was the language of the enemy. Afrikaans was only spoken here in parts of South Africa, but to the rest of the world, they do not know Afrikaans. The students, they felt if they were going to be taught in a colonial language, rather it be a language that is widely spoken. When the students took to the streets to protest against this, unfortunately, they were met by police. Police who responded like this. All right? Please follow me. The students had planned to march all the way to Orlando East. Once in Orlando East, they had planned to drop off memorandums and petitions that said no to Afrikaans. Unfortunately, they did not make it into the Orlando East police station. Basically, these students who came out in full school uniform, so that even to onlookers it would be clear to say it's not a political organization, but students. The students came with banners. We hate Afrikaans. We refuse Afrikaans. Take Afrikaans away from our schools. Such messages. As the students had marched, some coming in this direction, planning to go in that direction. As the students would march, police received the tip-off. Police started approaching. Basically, 15,000 students, the police would clash, would intercept around this very open space. Police would loudspeaker, disperse, go back to school, go back to school, go back to class. 5 minutes to disperse. The students refused. In their confusion and anxiety, they refused. Police released dogs. The dogs created a bit of confusion, but eventually one of the dogs was hit with a boulder. One of the dogs died. After the dogs, police released tear gas canisters. Tear gas. After the tear gas, police started shooting at random. From 1976 through the rest of that year, in relation to this event in our history. 600 students died. 600 students died, not only on this day. Students died in police custody. Some at the time, police had claimed committed suicide by jumping from the 8th floor of the Johannesburg police station. But it was later discovered that no, many students were pushed. Extreme forms of torture. 12,000 students left the country in fear of being killed, in fear of arrest. 12,000 students. Please follow me.
Har du et billede lige af hele teksten på? Ja.
Many of these students who died here are buried in Soweto at Avalon Cemetery. The stone was unveiled by Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela on the 16th of June 1992. Remember, 92, he was not yet president of the country, president of the ANC, which is one of the oldest liberation movements on the continent. All right? One of the oldest liberation movements on the continent. Every year in South Africa, on the 16th of June, is a holiday, a public holiday. It is becoming a culture in Soweto. We put on pieces of school uniform to mark our commemoration. The photo, ladies and gents, please come a little bit closer. All right, guys, how many of us have seen this picture before? Yeah? This was one of many photos that was taken on that day. It later became the symbol image of 76. The picture was taken by a photographer called Sam Nzima. Sam Nzima took this photo down this street, Emma Street. Sam Nzima snapped immediately after, detached film from his camera, hiding it in his shoe. Fearing that police might confiscate the camera, destroy the footage, he hid a copy in his shoe. He continued. Unfortunately, when this picture was published in the newspaper, his career was also threatened. He went underground in fear for his life. Sam Nzima. This picture was published in a newspaper called The World. Today, that newspaper is called The Sowetan. 3 students in the photo. The first one, Hector Zolile Peterson. Hector Zolile Peterson, 13 years old. 13 years old, when a police bullet to the chest would kill him. The tall boy carrying Hector Peterson was 18 years old. Mbuyisa Makubu. Mbuyisa Makubu was not related to Hector Peterson, had never seen him before. As you see him carrying Hector Peterson there, they say this is not the act of a hero. They say it is the responsibility of a fellow brother. They say maybe if he had jumped over the body, he continued running for his own life, and people saw him do that, he might not be able to live in such a society. Right? Unfortunately, when this picture was published, police began looking for the tall boy, thinking he was one of the organizers. In fear for his life, he exiled from South Africa to Botswana, from Botswana to Nigeria. But sadly, Nigeria in 1958 was really the last time that he was ever seen. Although there has been many rumors of Canada and whatnot, but actually Nigeria was officially the last time he was seen. Till today, No one knows the whereabouts of that tall boy. Is he dead? Is he alive? The girl, she was 16, 16. Her name, Antoinette Sitole. She was the sister to Hector Peterson. She is still alive. She has recently retired from working at this very museum. All right? Ladies and gents, normally there would be water flowing here. I don't know what's going on. I think the pump. When the water would flow here, it would represent the tears. When the water would go through here, it would represent the blood. Then the stones, the only weapon. Then the water will go under the bridge. When it goes under the bridge, it is a symbol of letting it go. Of not holding a grudge, but letting it go. Water under the bridge. Olivier, olive tree, branch of an olive tree, peace. Okay. The wall of emptiness, the wall of void. The different heights of the wall, the different ages of the students. 15,000 students, 15,000 slates. In between, the spaces represent the missing information. Those whose names are not inside there. Those who did not come back. They are represented by the spaces in between. Right, any questions?
Det skal jeg lige være lidt i. Det er godt tænkt kunstner. Ja.
Let's continue.
Ja.
Ja, den har jeg gået med, men også.
June, when people woke up, they woke up to shoes, school shoes, all over the streets. As children had run away, they lost their shoes. The students, policemen, the dog.
Bare nede i skyggen.
Nå, okay.
Today it's known as the Nelson Mandela family museum. This is the house Nelson Mandela writes about in his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, where he says, a man is not a man, not until he has a place of his own to call home. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
They're talking about the tree, that voice there. This is known as the Maluluka tree, the bottle brush tree.
Okay, yeah.
Underneath the tree, all of the Nelson Mandela children, all of the Nelson Mandela grandchildren, after 10 days, when this falls off of a baby, they do not throw it away in the Xhosa tradition and many other African traditions. After 10 days, they will bury it in the garden under a tree to introduce the newborns with Mother Nature, all right? A connection after 10 days. So all of the Nelson Mandela children, all of the Nelson Mandela grandchildren, under this Maluluka tree. Many a times when we talk about this house, you will often hear Winnie Mandela, Winnie Mandela, Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela and her 2 daughters lived in this house longer than Nelson Mandela. All right? Sadly, during the time that Winnie Mandela was living here, on many, many occasions, her life was not safe. On many occasions, her life was at risk. Many a times the door was kicked in. Many a times the house was shot at. 2 times the house was put on petrol bombing. Winnie Mandela speaks about how police would take surveillance from the houses next door, how police would take surveillance from the mountain on top, where they could tell the whereabouts and comings and goings of this house. All right? Of course, Winnie Mandela was also arrested, everyone, for 491 days. 491 days Winnie Mandela was arrested. 16 months solitary confinement. 16 months solitary confinement is the longest any woman in this country. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela Madiba Utata served a total of 27 years. When he was released on the 11th of February, he soon came back to this house, but could only stay here for about 11 days before he left. One of the reasons why 11 days, there were a lot of unknown personalities who started to sleep here, all right? To sleep on the sides, they say, wanting photos to see Nelson Mandela, interviews of Nelson Mandela. For security reasons, he moved, all right? Of course, at the age of 80, Nelson Mandela would marry again for the 3rd time. After his divorce to Winnie Mandela, due to a change in personality, due to a change in responsibility, they divorced. When he married for the 3rd time, he married a woman who is in the Guinness Book of World Records, a woman called Gracia Machel. Gracia Machel is the only woman in the world to have married 2 former presidents. Samora Machel of Mozambique, Nelson Mandela of South Africa. 2 former presidents, 1 woman, 1 lifetime. All right? Winnie Mandela did not marry again. Ladies and gents, where we are standing, originally the gate of this property was here. But today, the house, the gate is on the other side. Today, it's important that this house falls on Vilagazi Street. Because if this house falls on Vilagazi Street, it makes Vilagazi Street the only street in the world with 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners. Desmond Tutu, 1984. Nelson Mandela, 1993. All right? 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners in the same street. All right. Vilagazi Street. All right? On the other side, this is a business that used to belong to Winnie Mandela, but since her passing, it has become vacant. In South Africa, you cannot use Mandela's name in business or just anyhow. A lot of copyrights to that man. Alright? Just very quickly, in Africa they say be careful of the name you give your child. Many African babies have two names. We'll have a Christian, English, biblical name, and we'll have a traditional name. Nelson Mandela's name, does anyone know what it meant? Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means? Troublemaker. Troublemaker, yes, troublemaker. Absolutely. Archbishop Desmond Tutu, he was born 1930 with polio. Polio? Yeah. He was sick. A lot of babies, they were dying because of polio. But when he was born, his parents gave him the name Mpilo. Mpilo means long life, life. All right? And that same child with polio today is 90 years old. Is 90 years old. All right? So the name followed him. Troublemaker, Kholishasa, the name followed him. All right? I'd like to show you something. Please give me a second and follow me.
When you guys are done, then you can come check out.
Wait. Alright guys, if you come a little bit closer to the fence. Come a little bit closer to the fence. If you look at the window, the first window, window number 1. On top of the window there's a white concrete slab. Inside the white slab there's 2 bullet holes. Can you see them? Yeah. 2 bullet holes on top of the first window.
Ja, beton overlæggeren.
Look at the electricity box. Electricity box is this one, the white one. On top of the box, there's some bullet holes there as well. If you look at the bricks under the roof, you see they are black and gray from fire damage. You look at the fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher, 5 lines on top of the fire extinguisher, there's another bullet hole. Can we see it? Yeah. Alright, come with me. Winnie Mandela, eventually, when she was placed under house arrest, the apartheid government moved her to the Free State, to Bramford, which was an area that had no political incline. They felt that in Soweto, she was too influential. No, they felt she was too much influential, you know? Yeah, too influential. So when they moved her from here, they were taking her to an area where no one really knew her and no one was into politics. And this was to try and demobilize her. All right? Today the house belongs to the Soweto Heritage Trust. They use the money here to give back to various charities around Soweto. All right? Ladies and gents, this was our last stop. From here, we are going for lunch. All right? Okay, you can take a picture. If you have any more questions, I'm still here. Please remember as well that Nelson Mandela was a lawyer by profession, but was a boxer part-time. All right? Sugar Ray Leonard donated his championship belt to Nelson Mandela, and it's in this house. All right? Sugar Ray Leonard.
Excuse me. Okay.
That's good.
Look like caps.
All right, nice one.
Why are you?
Altid en plads i mit hjerte.
Det var en skrevet opgave.
Hvad siger du?
Der er ikke noget som god gammel golf.
Ja.
Please smell it. Alright. Guys, a little bit more and then down here all the way.
Okay.
Ça monte encore un peu ça, Camille?
Is a beer for the gods, a beer for the ancestors, a beer used to be illegal in South Africa.
Yeah, no, the woman can test. For the other man, I'm okay.
We are going to wait for the others to join us.
Okay. Just give me a second, man. I'll just walk out, but I just want to show them something quickly. Gentlemen, there's one thing here. I believe that you ask yourself what is right. There's an on-off there. Kudu. Thank you very much. All right, yeah, I know what. I'm so pleased. I was expecting you guys to say it's a cow, but unfortunately it's kudu. The reason why we use they could on to call meeting in the traditional way and call gathering. When we organized the World Cup in 2010, what happened? You saw on the stadium the noise. Yes, we call it Vuvuzela. So the idea originates from the horn of the kudu. You can see the hole here. Me, I don't have enough strength to blow it, but the people, professional people, you know, when there's a death in a village, we do not have at that point of time a phone, or we do not have internet to communicate. So they use this one and they go, oh. There's a place where you position yourself so that the wind can travel with the sound, and then call the gathering. It's okay? I wanted to show to everyone, especially because he asked me about the vuvuzela. Ça va, ça? Vous avez ça? Vous avez compris ce que j'ai dit?
Oui.
Ok. Ben voilà un autre ici encore. C'est bon? Maintenant, with the evolution of things, we're using the drum to call the meeting. Tout le monde est là, hein? Ok, c'est bon. We're using the drum. If you don't use the vuvuzela to call the meeting, you will use the drum. The other village will respond with the same. Then you know there's a communication and they are aware of the event. Yeah, thank you very much. I will call your guide to show you how we make the komboti and the traditional. You can test it. There's no harm at all.
Der har nok været noget inde i.
All the step has been taken care of so that you can, you know, have a good sense of it.
Og han lever af det. Så ved vi, hvorfor han er så skør.
Ladies and gents, over here we are going to be tasting two traditional drinks. The first one we're going to taste is a beer called umqombothi. Umqombothi is made from sorghum. Sorghum is like wheat grain. Alright? Sorghum. Sorghum, water, yeast is the main ingredient for the beer. Ladies and gents, during apartheid, the brewing and selling of this beer was illegal. Those who would sell the beer would have to be very, very careful. Mostly women would be making the beer. Women would normally dig trenches in their homes. After she's sold the beer, after she's made the beer, which is about 3 days to ferment, she hides the beer under the ground. So that when the police come and they kick down the door, no matter where and what they search, they should not find the beer. There was also places called shebeen. Shebeen. A shebeen is a place where people would be drinking, but it was very, very underground. If you look at it from the outside, it looks like a church. It looks like something else. Meanwhile, people are drinking and having a party inside. So shebeens were secret places where people could enjoy this beer, away from police and away from suspicious eyes. Traditionally, umqombothi is the beer we make when there's a Thanksgiving in the family, when there's a newborn baby in the family, when there's a wedding in the family, or when we say thank you. Women, married women, will be the ones to make the beer, but the elder men of the family will be the first to drink. All right, traditionally. In the cities, the women, they're like, excuse me, we're going to drink together. Normally, we will be drinking from a calabash. This is known to be a symbol of unity. In Africa, there's no chairs, there's no skull, because normally we would drink from one mouth. go around. But now, COVID. So now, we use the cups. All right? Please grab a cup. I'm going to okay. I rinsed the glasses, that's why they are wet. Okay, I put them under water. Ladies and gents, this beer is very different from Heineken. It's very different from Carlsberg, Budweiser. It's different. All right, Soweto Gold, different. Water, sorghum, and yeast. First sip to the ancestors.
How many percent alcohol?
I'm just putting a little bit in case you don't like it. But it's about 2% alcohol, you know.
Okay.
It's nothing.
Just a little, please.
Det lugter jo.
Thank you.
Ja, det lugter af gær.
Det lugter af gas. Ja.
Ja.
Det bruger nok hele vejen hjem.
Bare nedad.
Hvad siger du?
Bare nedad.
All right, everyone. You give it a small shake. Yes. Umboti.
Skål. Det er lidt surt. Cremet.
What do you think?
Creamy.
Creamy? Take a taste of this. Amaheo. Maize, water, sugar.
Thank you. Efter lidt
Skal jeg
tyk.
ikke filme for dig? Jeg filmer dig. Men det var meget så sukker.
No. No alcohol.
So I will drink it.
It's maize, water, sugar, and banana. It's called amaheo. All right? It's not a beer. No alcohol.
Det smager godt.
Og så alligevel banansmag der.
Ja. Det var meget godt. Det var meget smil.
This one you can now find it in the commercial stores. Okay, it comes in different flavors and it's very popular. When a woman is breastfeeding, she must always be full. They say this. When you're a little bit sick and you don't have much of an appetite, good source of energy. Amacheu umqombothi. Thank you. Yes, the weaver. The weaver's nest.
Tændte op i et eller andet derinde.
All right. Remember, ladies and gents, in the history of South Africa, there used to be something called the TOT system, T-O-T, and it was used as a form of payment, especially for those working in the farms. At the end of the day, at the end of a working day, they pay you with a tot of whiskey or brandy. That was called the tot system, but it has been abolished. Alright? Before 1961, in South Africa, it was illegal for natives to step into a bottle store and buy whiskey, brandy, or gin. Alright? Only after 1961. Alright. Lunchtime! Alright, ladies and gents, we go over to the other side. We have our lunch. Let's go wash our hands and sit down.